my name is Tabitha. If you see me looking off to the side, I am just looking at my notes. But this is my project for our 10 body systems. When I first started researching this project, I was really struggling on which of the 10 body systems to choose. It was really amazing and really cool to read on how they all come together and they work together with such harmony. I finally, though, settled on the respiratory system. Being a severe asthmatic myself, I already know so much about the respiratory system, but this project really allowed me to delve deeper into it. So our respiratory system is made up of two main components. It's our upper respiratory tract, and it goes into our lower respiratory tract. So our upper respiratory tract is made up of our nose, nasal cavity, mouth, your sinuses, which is all that, and then your throat, which would be your larynx, your voice box, your throat, which would be your pharynx, and then your voice box is your larynx. And then our windpipe, which is our trachea. And the lower respiratory tract is made up of the lungs, the large airway, which is our bronchi, and our small airway, which is the bronchioles, and then the air sacs, which is the alveoli. The bronchi and the bronchioles and all that in our lungs, it kind of makes it look like a little tree, because you have your lungs and then all those little tubes going through it. So I want you to do something for me. I want you to take a deep breath in and let it out. So that act alone of breathing involved so much of our respiratory system than we realize. So when you inhale, air passes through our upper respiratory tract and it makes its way down to our lower respiratory tract, where that oxygen we inhaled gets exchanged for carbon dioxide when we exhale. It's called a chemical exchange. So it is, not chemical exchange, gas exchange. It's so crazy how that all occurred within a split second. You inhaled, oxygen came in, you exhaled, carbon dioxide came out. That gas exchange is quick, but it's so needed. So we need to understand the respiratory system before we even begin to understand any of the sicknesses or diseases that can happen within it. The respiratory system is so important, and I think we just don't think about it. Because of it being an involuntary function, we just do it. Now, breathing can be voluntary. Like if you're swimming, you're trying to control your breathing, you're holding your breath. You come up to the air, you take in deep breaths to catch up with your breath. But most of the time it's involuntary. Like when you're sitting on your couch, playing a video game, reading a book, you're not thinking about breathing, you're just doing it. So when it comes to having asthma, COPD, or emphysema, the simple act of breathing can become so exhausting because there's so much more that happens within the lungs. Like the lungs don't function the normal way that they should be. So although all of those diseases or conditions have different causes and different triggers, understanding the respiratory system and how it works, what it's made up of, and how it interacts with our other systems in our body is so important to treating them and to help us better understand it. So there are 4 main body systems that our respiratory system works in conjunction with. And those 4 systems are the circulatory, muscular, skeletal, and nervous system. So the circulatory system takes the oxygen we breathe in and distributes it throughout our whole body. That's how we function. It keeps our organs alive. It keeps everything moving. And our musculatory system helps us to take a breath. That simple act of inhaling, you're expanding when you inhale, and then when you exhale, you're contracting. That is what your muscles do. They help you expand and contract. And the skeletal system, it protects your respiratory system, and the circulatory also delivers oxygen to your skeletal system. It's to keep our bones healthy. So, but I would say one of the main systems that our respiratory system works in conjunction with would be the nervous system. You heard me saying earlier about involuntary and voluntary functions. That's what the nervous system does. It keeps us breathing. So if we were to hold our breaths for so long, we would end up passing out, but then our nervous system would keep breathing for us without us thinking about it. Imagine if you had to think every single time you wanted to take a breath. That would be exhausting. That would be so annoying. So it's really crazy to think that without oxygen to your brain, within 1 to 2 minutes, your brain can start developing brain damage. And after 5 minutes, your brain cells start to die. And after 10 minutes, you would likely die. So that fact alone is so crucial for our survival. The essential process of gas exchange that often goes unnoticed in our daily lives, and understanding the function of our respiratory system not only enhances our appreciation for breathing, but it also aids in recognizing and treating respiratory diseases effectively and efficiently. There is a couple of things that I didn't really get into when it came to the respiratory system. I didn't get into the alveoli being where that gas exchange happens. It changes that oxygen into carbon dioxide, and then that your lungs, one side of your lungs, which I believe is your right side, has 3 parts to it, and your left only has 2 parts to it. It's kind of cool, but it has that little pocket in it so that your heart can be there. It's really fun to think about. But yeah, that is my presentation. That is my project. I hope you gained something from it. Thank you so much for your time.